So, we heard yesterday that drivers in the UK are facing the threat of new toll roads. Motorists could face new tolls or pay some of their road tax to private companies who take over the running of the motorway network under plans being discussed in Whitehall. Hang on a godforsaken minute. I pay my car tax, I pay VAT on fuel, I pay VAT on any repairs the car needs, I bloody pay enough money to be able to drive. Isn't car tax supposed to be there to upgrade and support the road network? And just who are these private companies that are going to take over the motorway network? Well, back in March there was an article in The Guardian titled "David Cameron Unveils Plans to Sell Off the Roads." He was told by bankers N.M. Rothschild that it could bring in $100 billion in income. So who do you think these companies that will buy up the roads will be? Yep, the Rothschilds and their subsidiaries. And again, they will get them at a cheap rate and whack massive tolls on them so we have to pay it and they make even more money. I am sick to death of bankers raping us left, right and centre all day long. And the government do nothing about it. And it's all because of the derivatives black hole. We owe so much it's frightening, 900% of GDP. We aren't going to pay this back, ever. But then we were never supposed to be able to pay it back. Every time more money is needed, the population is squeezed and squeezed, paying more and more directly to the bankers. The bankers openly brag that they've conquered us now. We are all slaves to the bankers. Mario Monti, the Italian PM, former Goldman Sachs. Mario Draghi, head of the European Central Bank, former Goldman Sachs. Lucas Papademos, Greece's PM, former Goldman Sachs. There are so many Goldman Sachs employees working to destroy Europe and hold its population to servitude. It's a joke. And in the UK, we have a new head of the Bank of England, Mark Carney. Guess where he used to work? That's right, Goldman Sachs. Is there no end to them throwing it in our faces time and time again? And Carney was Osborne's go-to guy. That's the man he wanted. Why? Because he's played on the inside before. He's played the game for the elite and won. And now it's his turn to help ruin our country further. With this in mind, and knowing the destruction former Goldman Sachs employees have hailed across Europe, I'm calling for Mark Carney to be arrested on financial terrorism charges that he will commit in the future just as soon as he lands in the UK. The elite want us to be done for pre-crime, so let's do it to him. We know Carney isn't here for the good of the people, but for the good of the bankers to enslave the people even more. So let's arrest him and put a marker down that we will no longer be held hostage by fraudulent bankers and their fraudulent money system.